And for more on Alibaba's fall from Wall Street's graces, we're joined by Ari Zoldan. He's the founder and CEO of Quantum Networks, and he's also an advisor to equities.com. Ari, good to see you. Thanks for joining us.
Great to see you, Michelle.
Ari, Alibaba reporting its slowest quarterly revenue growth in more than 3 years. Year-over-year revenue growth was 28% less than the 33% that Wall Street expected. Ari, did this surprise you? What do you make of the earnings report?
It doesn't. I mean, still remember, a 26% increase in revenue is still tremendously positive. Granted, it's not the 56%, but keep in mind also there's something out there called the China economy, which is also, I think, affecting the stock performance. But as a business, big advocate of it, and I think the company is going to do extraordinarily well. And Michelle, quite frankly, I do think it's a buying opportunity now.
Before we get into the buying opportunity here, Ari, I want to focus a little bit on the mobile transactions. They do account for about 55% of Alibaba's overall transactions. On the upside, the number of active users on Alibaba's mobile platforms increased to 307 million at the end of the quarter. But Ari, is this necessarily a good thing? I mean, keeping in mind that Maggie Wu, Alibaba's CFO, said that mobile was still less profitable than business via personal computers. So is this transition to mobile going to work out?
Oh, there's no question. We're all right here. We're in the mobile space right now. It's probably taking China a little more time than the United States. But again, we have over a billion people over there. Half of them have mobile phones. And, you know, we spoke about earlier, Michelle, on another segment, is that it's all a shopping cart on their mobile phone. And that's all money for Alibaba.
Okay, well, the majority of Alibaba's money does come from those consumers in China, about 75%, according to this report. But as you mentioned, Ari, there is that slowing economic growth in China. We've also got the recent decline in the stock market. Mom and pop investors, the people who do it.
I mean, it's a very fair argument to make. It's a time of not only going to affect Alibaba's stock, but it's going to affect everything that's going on within the technology space, the financial space, and everything the market touches right now. So it's not specific to technology, and it's certainly not specific to Alibaba.
So you would say take it for what it is and be strong in Alibaba. But Ari, I want to ask you, what about the weaker yuan? The currency has been depreciated. What impact that's going to have on Alibaba?
Well, I think you mentioned it before. I do think it's gonna hurt the subscribers. It's gonna hurt the end user. China slightly turn. I think very uptick, not only in the amount of money spending pouring back into online transactions.
But will a weaker yuan perhaps make products more affordable for people shopping on Alibaba sites outside of China?
It's possible. I mean, what's interesting now, and it's interesting you're bringing this up, these American brands that they're actually pulling in to the Chinese market because they want the Chinese consumer to touch American brands, and I think they've got the right strategy in place.
Well, you mentioned the Macy's deal, and this will allow Chinese consumers to purchase Macy's merchandise through the exclusive flagship online store in Alibaba's Tmall Global. But what about getting Americans to shop Alibaba?
That's a challenge, and I think Alibaba knows it as well. The barrier of entry, I think, the barrier of entry to get onto Alibaba is very low. But to be able to actually become a business seller on there's a learning curve that's involved. I think that needs to be an understanding of the Chinese market also to become a seller on the marketplace. So, you know, for the American seller, for the American business, obviously they're most comfortable with eBay, working with Amazon. But they're also, I think, some of the business owners are starting to look at Alibaba as well, but need a very easy way to be able to onload or onboard themselves onto their platform.
Well, Ari, you mentioned the stock. It is down 30% this year, losing 22% of its value since the IPO's closing price of around $93. That was in September. Would you buy Alibaba now? You say this is a buying opportunity.
I think it's a great buying opportunity. You know, Alibaba's got 70% of the online transaction in China. If they had half of that, I'd still say it's a buying opportunity. I think the price is right even now, and if it does continue to go further, it's still an opportunity for investors to jump in and start buying some more.
All right, thanks so much, Ari Zoldan, founder and CEO of Quantum Networks and advisor to equities.com. Always good to see you.